Welcome to another episode of the Elevate Collection podcast. We're so excited today because we're here with probably one of my favorite humans, just a really
priority.
incredible person.
No, you're the priority.
The priority.
Eric Priest. Y'all, Eric Priest is on a mission to become the next face of the middleweight division. His journey began at age 10 after frequently getting into street fights with his brother. It was his father, a military veteran, who taught him how to throw a punch and introduced him to the sport of boxing. As an amateur, Priest made his mark by winning the 2017 Kansas Golden Gloves and becoming a two-time finalist at the Ringside World Championships. He turned professional in February of 2020, remained undefeated, and officially signed with Golden Boy Promotions in April of 2023. Priest captured the WBA Continental North America Super Middleweight title in January of 25 with a dominant win over Tyler Howard. Most recently, he followed that performance with a statement victory in Las Vegas, outboxing seasoned veteran Luis Arias by unanimous decision and showcasing his evolving skill set under the bright lights. Originally from Kansas, Priest brings a rare blend of athleticism, discipline, and charisma to the ring. Off the canvas, he's modeled for major brands like Nike, Adidas, and Jackson, further establishing his star potential. Now training under Julian Chua at Brickhouse Boxing Club in Los Angeles, Priest sharpens his tools alongside elite talent, including unified cruiserweight champion Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez and rising star John Scrappy Ramirez. With momentum on his side and his eyes locked on the top, Eric Priest is proving he has the talent, work ethic, and presence to leave a lasting mark on the sport. That is a mouthful. You've done a lot of shit.
I appreciate it. I mean, that's a sick bio.
Like, that's you,
that's
my
pretty
guy.
good. I'm like, my head's getting big.
Like,
You know what I mean?
know you.
right?
Oh dang, who's that guy? Well, that's pretty sick. You know what I mean? I might just go look in the mirror now. You know what I mean? No, I'm kidding.
Who knew when we locked eyes in the club in Scottsdale and we're just vibing in our own sections that this would turn into this? I had no idea who you were, but I was like, that guy's got a cool vibe.
No, that was a time. I mean, I had so much fun. Actually, that was, what was that? Like a year and a half ago now?
Yeah.
Around that time?
Last
Yeah.
July.
Jeez.
A lifetime ago. It feels like we've lived like 8 lives since then.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen you guys a few times. You guys enjoying Dallas?
We don't live in Dallas.
Wait, what?
We live in Atlanta.
What the? Oh no, I'm confusing.
We're gonna see you in
with the other. Okay.
He's
okay.
just teasing. He's teasing
Yeah.
the
No.
crowd.
I'm okay. I'm getting.
He's
Okay.
spoiling
Yeah.
the
No. There you go. Okay. I
He
know.
knows we live in the city of
That's.
Magic City.
Oh my God. Yes. Okay. I tripped out for a sec.
The city of
There's another person I missed. You know. Yeah.
Somebody else. Okay, well, I want to take it back to childhood for a quick moment. But when you look back at the boy who got in the street fights and was learning to fight from your dad, what do you think that early version of you has contributed to the grit and determination that you have now?
Oh shoot. I think. I don't know. Like when you're a kid and stuff like that, you're trying to like figure out things about yourself and life and. As a kid, like, I mean, I feel like everybody, you're kind of searching for a place to belong and whatnot. And for me, like boxing was, I found that in boxing, you know, I don't really think I got along with a lot of team sports and other people and this and that. And I kind of always felt awkward in my own right. And so when I found something that I was passionate about and that made me feel more welcome as a kid, you know, with my dad and everything. And like, I don't know, like, it's just, you find like motivation like when you're a kid, you know, and obviously motivation changes over time. And like, but I don't know, just when I built those fundamentals and my dad instilled those fundamentals in me very, very young of like grit and determination and drive and the possibility that maybe I could be something more or something bigger. And I just kind of kept that, I think, you know, but like it was, that's something that I installed very, very young. For sure.
What keeps you going now? Like, what keeps you like wanting to get like, you know, hit in the face?
That's that bread. No, I'm kidding. I mean, there's a few things, you know. Obviously, boxing it's a full-time job now. It's a job, and there is the aspect of business in it, but you got to do it for more. Yeah. There's got to be something inside of you that you just want to that really gets you out of bed in the morning all the time. And for me, I think it used to be like, for trying to find a place where I could belong and this and that. But now at this point, I have the opportunity, and it's a privilege really to have a talent and to be good in something, and then represent such a unrepresented culture, which is like the Korean side of me in a sport that's like predominant. There's no other Koreans doing this, really. And I have an opportunity to represent my culture and my family and the things that I stand for, and just leave a footprint in some place in this world, whether that's small or big. And that's kind of where I'm at. That drives me.
I think we call that a legacy, but I'll let you go.
I love that. Is there a moment that you can recall while you were getting into boxing, while you were, coming up the ranks, where you were like, oh, I think I could like really do this?
Yeah, I think, this is weird phase when everybody starts boxing. It's really frustrating and it's very discouraging. For about 2 years, I was probably getting my ass beat. Because you're learning, you're trying to figure out boxing. It's a naturally uncomfortable thing. You're going out there and you're fighting another person, and you're not supposed to feel things like, you don't want to feel things like fear and this and that, but you can't help it. You're nervous, things. Fighting another human is very unnatural. So you kind of have to like learn that side of things. But probably when I was like, I don't know, 14 or 15, I was always a very athletic kid. I was playing a lot of sports. I was wrestling. I was doing all these other things. But then as, I started to grow, and like I started to figure everything out, like my coordination and everything. I was like, okay, like probably 14 to 15 years old when I started competing in, like not just regional tournaments, but national tournaments. And I was doing well, and I was beating guys who had way more experience than me, and that had been doing it longer, older guys. And by the time I turned 17, I was fighting full-grown men. I was fighting 33-year-olds, and beating them and knocking a lot of people out. And I was like, okay, like maybe I could take this somewhere, and that's different when you finally realize you can maybe take things somewhere. It's like, boxing is not like other sports really. So there's not like an exact route that you can take. Mm-hmm. There's not like, you enter like the collegiate level or something like that, and then you get signed pro. It's like, okay, the only way to get your name out there essentially is the Olympic trials. That's how you basically get on the radar of these professional, like these major promotions and these top tier, that 1% level that make it. And so, that's pretty much what I had to do. And yeah.
That is so impressive. I guess I never really thought about like the trajectory of how, like, let's say if it's NFL, you're playing in high school, then you go to college, and then you go to the combine, you can get drafted, and then you go pro. Like there's like this kind of established pathway that you go, and that's just not the same.
No, it's not. Yeah, like it's basically that's the main national tournament. You either win the national Golden Gloves or you win the Olympic trials, pretty much. And usually it's the top 3 in every single weight class that actually gets signed every single year. Like you have to be somewhere around that. I had a jaw injury in the first day, so I opted out. And I was in school at the time, and I was like, all right, shoot, like I'm not gonna wait another 4 years for this, for another shot. And I was like, okay, do I just like go to school and try to, I don't know, just do something on that end. But then kind of got this weird opportunity to go out and just be a training partner for some of these like more notable pros, like Manny Pacquiao, if you guys know who that is, and a lot of the guys that were in his training group. So I would just go out there and basically just fight these guys and help them prepare for their fights. And I was kind of banking on the shot that eventually somebody would walk in and notice me, and maybe, because there's always people around, there's like managers and stuff that walk in there, and maybe they'll just see something in me. And I pretty much broke, had no money or anything, but I had this opportunity. I was gonna make a few bucks, and I really wasn't happy in school. So I was like, screw it, packed up my stuff, moved to LA. I didn't know how long I was gonna stay out here. And eventually just started just cracking these fools in gyms, and eventually like kind of got my shot.
How'd your family feel about that? That's only reason I asked that is because I remember when we came to your fight in Vegas, I remember hearing everything and how much like hearing the like punches land and like, oh gosh.
For the record,
Shoot.
that was our first fight. Like,
Ever.
you're the only boxer we've ever known. Like, we've had to learn boxing because of you. Because I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
We're asking 100 questions.
this
the
is
whole
how
time.
many rounds are in a boxing match. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, she's
yeah.
still going.
It's a long time. Like sometimes I'm like sitting in there, I'll be like, oh, it's like the 9th round. I'm like, what round is it? You know,
Why
and
are
I
we
was my
still
coach,
here?
you got 2 more rounds left. I'm like, I feel like I've been in here for a minute. Like, I'm like, but my family, they've always been super supportive. You know, like I said, like my dad got me into the sport. He's the one that inspired me and took me to the first boxing gym I went to.
Like, watching you, like it's one thing to like know you're doing it, but when you're at like and you're hearing it, like that doesn't ever like throw anybody off.
My mom gets amped now at this point. She gets amped, you know, about the fights, and my dad. It's just something you're used to at this point, you know. Like it's like watching a lacrosse game or something, or a football game or something like that. But I mean, when I left Casey, it was kind of like, all right, Eric, like, what are you doing? You know, I really didn't have a lot of support besides like my family, you know, and then all my friends and everybody was like, what's Eric doing? And like, God knows, I don't know, you know.
It's
But
like, we still get that.
yeah.
What's Jordan doing?
Yeah.
But we also still get like the bootstrapping, right? Like we just said like 2 weeks ago, sometimes the opportunity outweighs the budget.
Yeah.
And you just have to figure it out and like make it happen. You're like, we can't really afford to do this, but we can't afford not to.
Yeah.
So you go, you put it on a credit card, you pay off one credit card, put on the other credit card, you wait for your next deal to come in, you wait for your next win to come in.
Yeah.
But sometimes just being in the room and being seen is truly what makes all the difference.
Yeah, exactly. I had to kind of bet on myself and just roll the dice and be like, I need to get into this room. Yeah. Basically with all these professionals and all these like managers that are coming in and like, you know, people that are notable names in boxing and this and that, and like just get on their radar. And I was like, okay, if I can get on their radar, then I can work my way up, you know, but I have to get there first. And so, yeah, I was just figuring it out, honestly. Yeah. Sometimes, like you said, like, that's what like life takes sometimes. Yeah. And it also means that much more to you when you do make it happen. You know, you're not willing to just easily let that go. So, yeah.
All right, I want to go back to how many rounds there are in boxing again. And I have 2 questions around this. So you've had quite a few knockouts. 8? Is that what I read?
Yeah.
8 knockouts. Is it more rewarding to get the technical win by decision at the end or to get the knockout?
It depends who I'm fighting.
Ooh.
Some people I'm like, okay, like just let's get this out. You know what I mean? But other times I find it more, it's one thing if you knock somebody out early in a fight, some people can always bring up the argument, oh yeah, you landed a lucky shot or like you got lucky. But if you go out there and you just like torch somebody every second of every single round from beginning to end, it's not really up for debate about who's better. But obviously the fans and like they love the knockouts, they love the excitement, the blood, you know, some guy laying unconscious, you know, they love that. So I mean, it really just depends, I'd say. Yeah.
All right, you're on round 9. How do you keep that mental mindset sharp enough to keep going? You're in pain. I'm sure your body's yelling stop. Like, how do you keep pushing?
I just a battle of will, you know. I've always said boxing is kind of you versus you. It's me versus me, and I prepared myself so many times. I got so used to the feeling of being tired. It's not like a stranger anymore. Like every single time I'm in the gym and I'm training, I push myself to exhaustion, and so when in a fight, you know, you're used to that feeling. When it happens, you're like, oh, okay, I'm fatigued. Like, I've been here 1,000 times already. And it's nothing new. Like all I got to do is like show up for another 3 minutes, and yeah, I mean, you got to train the mind to stay locked in, to not fall asleep even for 1 second, because 1 second in boxing, you know, you're out, it's over. So just to keep that, to build that mental stamina, that endurance, that self belief, and you can really do anything you want to do if you want it that bad. So I would say that's the answer to that.
Like ideally, of course, we all want to say that we all have great days, and every day is like, yep, this is what I'm programmed to do. Everything's gonna go great. Like I'm hype. But I imagine there are days where you're just like, do I even want to keep doing this? Do those ever hit you?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, there's been moments where like you'll have like a bad training session or a bad sparring session. Somebody gets the better of you that they shouldn't have, and you're sitting there, you're bruised up. Kind of sitting, I've sat in my car for like hours after like a sparring session, just kind of like thinking about life. And I'm like, dude, like, what the hell am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm like, shoot, like, do I still got it? Am I, you know? And I don't know. I always kind of told myself, I'm gonna quit tomorrow, but I'm gonna show up to practice first. Yeah. You know, and that means basically like, I'm gonna show up tomorrow, regardless of how I feel today. Like, you never make a decision to quit at night, because that's when it's easiest. You know, like, try to do it in the morning. It's a lot harder on a new day. And so that's, but there are definitely days of discouragement and days where you're kind of, you question everything. But you kind of realize, like, I mean, like, it's such a privilege to be in this position, this opportunity, like, to squander that and just to be like, okay, one day I just don't want to do this. I mean, that's okay, but not yet, you know?
Yeah. Because they say you never regret showing up. So if you at least show up, you never regret showing up. Yeah.
The only thing that's promised, like you will never accomplish it and it's promised if you quit. Yeah. That's guaranteed. But if you keep showing up, you might get it. You might. You might get it, you know? Yeah.
Well, the good news is it sounds like you have plenty of opportunities. I recently saw a post that you made about how you originally signed with Wilhelmina.
Yeah.
And then you got fired because you showed up with a black eye. Yeah. But it sounds like you are making tons of strides, and now you're modeling with Nike and we see everything you're doing with Jackson. You're crushing it there.
Yeah.
How did you make the decision after you didn't take the modeling route to use your influence to like do all of this marketing? Yeah,
I mean, so like I think modeling in my time doing that was kind of, I joined Wilhelmina on accident.
Run it back.
Yeah, so I got with Wilhelmina on.
And they're like, hey, hot guy, we have an opportunity for you.
I don't know. I think I filled a gap in their profile, I guess, with being an Asian American and whatnot, and so that benefited me. And I was actually at a public training session, like a workout, and somebody was taking pictures, and then they sent it over to Wilhelmina. You should like look at this kid, and then they got in touch with me, and then like next thing you know, I'm signed with Wilhelmina. I didn't know what I was getting into. I don't have that much modeling prior experience, so I didn't really know the how big it was, or like how notable of a organization it was. And so I was like, oh shoot. It didn't take long before I realized. And then like you're doing things. Yeah, you're shooting with Nike and this and that. But that kind of opened my eyes to the potential of the marketing side that I could tap into. And I had my brother and some people on board that kind of taught me. I don't know, he's kind of like taught me about the basic marketing, and I was always friends with people that were more into the mainstream rather than just boxing. So people that were like into like, there was influencers and like TikTokers or just taking advantage of all these brand deals and this and that. So I was like, okay, so what if I applied that same concept towards boxing? Right. And then that led into, what if I can take the same concept of like all these collegiate athletes or NFL players and this and that, and like a lot of boxers settle for these small brands, these like local shops usually, and I'm like, okay, what if I can bring on these big brands to partner with? Right. And that's when my first major sponsorship was with Adidas. So I got Adidas, and Adidas Boxing was on board, and then from there, bringing members of like the team, like expanding, outside of just myself. People that actually knew what they're doing, that had experience working with other athletes, and whether that's like soccer, or NFL, or basketball, and then having them on board and have them using their connections and that kind of stuff to bring. Yeah, just basically taking the same concept as every other sport to boxing, because nobody else is doing that. You only see like these major boxers that have 1 million followers and these top tier, these multi-world champions. They were the only ones signing with these big brands. But I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be the case. If you're marketable enough and you can play the part and provide value in different types of ways, that's the best way to get with these brands.
They say all money isn't good money.
Yeah.
So you're obviously very intentional about like what you're doing and your approach to your craft. How are you picking what type of marketing deals and what type of partnerships and collaborations? Like, are there parameters that you have in place to make sure it's a good fit for you?
Absolutely. Like when you work with like one brand, it can diminish you working with other brands, right? Mm-hmm. So if you worked with like Natty Light, it would be really hard for you to sign with Hennessy, because there are two different demographics that are attracted to those kind of brands, right? And so I wanted to brand myself like a Rolls Royce. or like some, it's like things that I like, like fashion and the higher class brands, brands that are that have a respect, like I don't want to say respectable, but like a higher class audience, a little more classy, I would say. So like a lot of the brands right now we're working with, like Santo Studios and Jackson, like jewelry, and then Santo Studios, which is the fashion aspect. It's like their little sister fashion brand, which is like borderline designer. They just signed with Nordstrom, so they're in like a nicer category like shopping, and just stuff like that. We have a few things in the pipeline that are really, really exciting as well, that I can't say yet, but cool things, and dry water, that's another one that we've been working with. It's like liquid IV on steroids, so it's just it's like, except it's just better. It's like in less sugar and more towards the actual nutrient side of things. And then Lucy nicotine, I think it's like a Zyn on steroids. It's just like a new and improved version of it, and that's something I kind of wanted to work with because I thought it was cool and it's trendy, and it's so like Zyn is so popular right now. Like the pouches and like the nicotine fix and stuff like that is so popular right now. It appeals to my age group of my demographic.
What are you saying?
What's up?
What are you saying?
You know what I'm saying?
My age group.
Hey, what's? No, I was talking about that. No. I mean, I'll give you a Lucy too. I mean,
he's like, Lucy, sponsor the Elevate podcast.
I'm serious. I mean, yeah. Have you tried one before?
No.
Do you want to try one?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going into it.
Yeah. If all right. Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. JK.
You start getting nauseous. You're like, Eric, we got to end the pod.
All right, we're coming for Lucy offline. But I think it is a super interesting segue. You, as a boxer, have a completely different set of marketing opportunities that most athletes aren't. Like, most NFL, most NBA.
There's red tape.
They're not partnering with sports betting companies or nicotine companies or alcohol brands. Like it's very limited. So you're opening up a brand new marketplace for these brands who've never had an entryway into sports to be able to do it. And not only are you you're the trifecta, right? That they can get a patch on your shorts during the fight, which also isn't offered in most sports.
Yeah.
Then you get your general social media marketing, but you also have a ton of lifestyle benefits that come along with it. So you're taking the products to a high-end event, you're sharing it with your friends, you're doing it, to me, you're a marketing slam dunk.
No, I appreciate that. And it's also opening the funnels of like communication with your audience, right? Like to be on as many platforms as you possibly can, so you have the opportunities to show these kind of brands, So like you said, boxing, right? So I have the patches on my shorts, and then Instagram, you can obviously post pictures and stuff like that, but that's pretty normal. But say you were doing you were streaming or something like that, you're at a desktop and you're streaming a video game, you're live sports or sports gambling. You can partner with a sports gambling brand by using their gambling site on live. And it's just like stuff in people's faces, or you could have something like a product placement while you're live streaming. And it's like to maximize the amount of ways that you are reaching your audience, opens more doors for sure. As far as just like the branding side of things, you could be, I don't know, say I don't really know the regulations on this, but say you were an NFL player, right? And you were just posting on Instagram and this and that, but no, so you hop on and you start streaming, then you could have 6 products behind you, like as a backdrop, while you're streaming, talking about life or God knows what, and that opens the opportunities for sponsorships and companies to work with you. And I think that's a big part of it.
What advice would you give to an athlete of any sport in trying to make themselves available on the marketing and the creator side?
It doesn't have to be perfect to start. There's no perfect time to start doing it. And don't be afraid to reach out to companies, to people. You never know. Even if you're reaching out to a person that has connections or like an agent or something like that, they might not even know you exist until you reach out to them. Then they could see opportunities for themselves as well, and it could be mutually beneficial. Don't be afraid to reach out. It doesn't have to be perfect to post. And, there's no real good time to start except now.
Today.
Yeah. So yeah, and there are plenty of things that you can do for yourself as well. You don't need to wait on, like some people wait until they have an agent to do something. But like a lot of times that comes later on or better, you know? And so I think, yeah, I would say that.
At the top of our conversation, you mentioned a lot about like your family being your core and like the why behind like your what. What type of impact or legacy do you hope to leave trailing your career?
Wow, that's a hard question. There's a few things, you know. I'm just a kid from Kansas. You know, there's nobody from my hometown, even from the boxing level, that even guys that were better than me at the time when I was growing up, and guys that had the future in their palms. And I was overlooked up until I was later in high school and this and that. And I was. You can really do whatever you want to do if you can put your mind to it. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, and I'm not saying everything's going to work as planned. Like 99% of the time it won't. The timing won't be right. Things won't happen when you want them to. Things will take longer than they want them to, or they might happen sooner. And the opportunity might actually come faster than you think, or longer. And it's just, if you can stay consistent to yourself and believe in yourself and believe that like maybe you're here for something more, I believe, you know, you can do whatever you want, you know, but it's not going to come easy. It's going to be very hard, and it's going to be discouraging, but that's life. And that makes it so special at the end when you do make it.
I love that so much. Are there any big projects that you can talk about that are coming up that we need to look out for?
Shoot. Well, right now we're getting ready for a fight November 8th, Dallas. So yeah, getting ready for that. You know, it's gonna be a cracking one. And then after that, I would love to. Well, I have a meeting about it, but I want to fight for a world title, just for the world championship to solidify myself as the number one middleweight in the world in 2026. So that will be a gateway to that. Obviously, one fight at a time. Just, you know, focus on this one, but that, and then I'm searching for the next Golden Boy ring girl. So I got the opportunity to kind of just, you know, go through, it's going to be cool. We're going to be taking these like prospect ring girls and having them like walk in a ring. And it's kind of like a Drewski. I'm like judging. Oh my God, I'm obsessed. I'm like judging pretty much like live YouTube video. I'm basically just having these girls like walk in.
Have you seen that with Drewski?
No.
It's okay. We'll deep dive later.
Yeah. You gotta watch it. It's gonna be funny. Yeah, and I'm basically just looking at these girls and I mean just figuring out who's the next Golden Boy ring girl. You know.
That's super.
So doing that, and then I wish I could talk about these deals in the pipeline, but some exciting announcements coming soon. Yeah, just really growing on all fronts, and so I'm excited about all that.
Is there a dream marketing deal that you're looking out for that people can tag in the comments to lock that in?
We're going to be working with Remy Martin, Louis XIII. Cognac.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a big one that we've been working on that for a while. Shout out Stephen Brody. Yeah. What's up?
Everlast?
Yeah. Everlast Boxing. That's another one. Yeah, and a lot of that's through another company that we work with, Hubi, and they work with a lot of different brands and social media and creators and whatnot. And yeah, we got looped in with them, and so they're bringing in some sweet stuff. And shoot, God, you know, I would have said Lucy, honestly, because I think Lucy is so cool. So when I finally got the opportunity to work with them, I was like, I've been pouching. Don't pouch unless you start. But I've been pouching since I was probably like 18 or 19 years old. Mm-hmm. And so to finally get I get free Lucy. Like,
that's great.
I'm stocked up now. You know what I mean? Like that was draining my bank account for a while, you know, but I don't know. Dior, hit me up. Dior.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll take that.
Yeah.
All right. Here's some like fun little quick hitters. Is there a song that you currently have on repeat? Or an artist?
Oh my God, Suicide Boys.
Suicide Boys?
Suicide Boys, yeah.
What was your most impulsive tattoo?
I got an angel with an AK-47.
I'm into it.
On my knee. Yeah, right there.
How bad did that hurt?
Duality.
Yeah. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad, you know. It wasn't too bad, you know. Late night.
Fair enough.
Sunset Boulevard, yeah.
Okay, Spotify or Apple Music?
Apple Music. I do have both though. I do have both.
Same.
Yeah, I'm on the family plan for Spotify. So
She's on my family plan.
I get it. Yeah, but then my personal Apple. It's easier. I feel like.
Okay, in the spirit of podcast, are you an audio or a visual kind of guy?
I got some serious ADD, so like I think I need to hear and see.
Okay.
As a, you know, I can drive and like listen to a podcast, but I need to be doing something physically, like while I'm listening to something. I can't just like sit and like meditate and listen to a podcast.
Same.
Start freaking out, throw my head through a wall or
Are we
something.
diagnosed ADD?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
I'm
when you know, like, you know what I mean? Like,
We are both neurodivergent, and we firmly believe that most successful people in life have a little bit of ADHD.
yeah, I got the tick. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay.
I feel like most hustlers do. Like, we're not stopping. We're not slowing down.
Yeah,
We
I
got
hate
that,
sleeping.
We got that grit
Hear
and
ya.
grind.
Yeah, gotta have it.
All right. Last thing.
Last thing for us that we ask everyone, for anyone that's under the sound of our voices, that's listening to you, watching you right now, if there is one thing that our community, our listeners, subscribers can do to move your needle forward or contribute to your success, what would that be?
See, like there, I feel like there's a lot of things that could be done. It could be like, yo, even Venmo me. No, I'm kidding. No,
We'll put the tab in the notes.
no, but I mean, really, I mean, it just like the basic support is so. I don't know. I love it. I love getting messages from people. You know, I've got kids in Korea that message me all the time. You know, saying like, you know, hey, you're my inspiration, this and that. I ran across a photo that somebody had posted not too long ago. Like, oh, Eric Priest is such an inspiration for me. It's like this like 10-year-old kid. Just like stuff like that. I mean, and tuning into the fights. I mean, it on hard days, it makes hard days easier. Yeah. You know, it makes you want to keep going forward. And yeah, I mean, just basic stuff. I don't need anything because I do this sport like I have to prove something to myself. But like just the support and everything like does make me I don't know, does keep me going sometimes. So
Well,
yeah.
we've kind of talked about it off camera, but keep doing what you're doing because I'm a mom and I have a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old, and my 11-year-old son and I watch your fights together, even the ones that we haven't made, and he is a huge fan. And your messaging is so powerful and so strong. Keep sharing it because I was telling Alex this morning, he and I just talked last night. He's 11. He's in 6th grade, and he's like, I don't feel like I belong. I don't know. I don't look cool. I have a hard time making friends. He has ADHD. And to like hear someone who I know that he looks up to and admires, and he watches the podcast, like to hear their story of how they felt those same things and how they've overcome them and how they're like living their dreams. It's so powerful. So just great job, Eric.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Keep doing what you're doing. You're an amazing human and you've got a very bright future.
Thank you guys.
Keep going.
I will.
So, in short, the only person that we should be in competition with ourselves or competition with is the yesterday's version of ourselves. So keep going. And Eric, thank you for being on the podcast today.
Thanks guys, appreciate it.
Thanks so
And
much,
thanks,
Eric.
Marty.